All right, so I've been seeing a ton of stuff lately about people talking about vertical jump programs and which is the best one and which one they should be using. But I want to kind of splash the cold water on you here and point out the fact that you actually don't need one at all. I have designed 2 vertical jump programs. If you DM me on Instagram, I'll send them to you for free. I'm not even trying to make money off of them. But other than that, I never really followed a script. My main way of jumping higher was just going out and dunking. And the way that something like that is going to help you jump, the number one thing I want you to take away from this video, you can get better at jumping as long as you're doing max effort, 100% warmed up jumps. So people make the mistake of not getting warmed up, and if you're only practicing jumping at 90% nervous system arousal, then you're only going to get good at learning how to jump with 90% nervous system arousal. So what we need is to do some sort of stimulation, like a warm-up or something like that, that's going to get our nervous system ready to fire. Strength is a trait of the nervous system. I've given examples like that in previous videos. But at the end of the day, what you need to understand is as long as you're finding some way to do max effort jumps, whether that be through plyos, which again, really important to warm up, so that way you're getting the most out of them. Is dunking, plyos, whatever that may be that you're doing max effort jumps, that's going to help you. And you also have to jump in the same sort of style that you would use. So for example, if I'm practicing dunks off vert, then I should be doing a lot of training off vert. If I'm practicing off 1 foot, more training off 1 foot, etc. Stuff like that is very important and very relevant. But at the end of the day, if you go to the gym and you do Olympic and compound lifts, you do plyometrics, doesn't really matter what exercises you're doing. Obviously the Olympic lifts, it's pretty important to use all of those. But whether you're doing from a seated position bench jumps onto a box, whether you're doing depth jumps, there are certain plyos that are a little better than others, but people are under the impression that there's some magical exercise out there that's just given people who can jump really high, they're good vert. But at the end of the day, it's because I've just been doing this for so long, and 90% of the time of all the jumping that I've done was for dunking, where I'm in that specific context of just taking max effort jumps, getting warmed up, and then going to the court and dunking for an hour. Another thing that's really important is that you keep your sessions short. I know I just said that I was dunking for an hour. I've gone as long as 3, which when you talk about slow twitch versus fast twitch, you have to realize the longer you're jumping for, the more you're starting to work on that slow twitch kind of explosiveness. So if you really do want to just be able to give one really good jump, which is pretty much what you want to do if you want to dunk, you just need one really good jump. You don't need to be able to jump for 3 hours. Then what you need to be doing is taking short sessions. If you're counting for plyos or something, never exceed 50 jumps in a day. That's a really low number compared to what people think they can handle. And part of what's weird about that is I haven't been sore since 2012. My legs don't get sore, but that doesn't mean that I'm good to keep jumping. Your nervous system is going to experience fatigue. CNS fatigue is what that's called. And that's what's going to make it so that you can't jump higher. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's as important to focus on what jump program you're using or what specific exercises you're doing, just that you are making sure to get 100% max effort jumps in, nervous system completely woken up, aroused, ready to go. And as long as you're doing that, you will be able to jump higher. It's a lot more that goes into it than that, but just by doing your own workout on your own, there's an 80 or 90% overlap in the results that you would get from doing the best vert jump program in the world. That's just my opinion, but I'm also someone who went in one summer from being at a vertical in the very low 40s to the mid 40s, and I was able to do that over one summer just because it was my first time really starting to do dunking, and my hamstring had been pulled at the time, so I figured out 2-foot jumping works a lot better for me. And at the end of the day, I think the results speak for themselves. I don't think I would have just gotten to a 50-inch vert if I had done the perfect jump program. I think just for me dunking all the time and still doing occasional plyos and lifts was absolutely enough, even with no programming, to get the best results possible. So at the end of the day, 100% max effort jumps. That's your takeaway from this video. Thank you for watching.